Venom 3 was like a really painful gas bubble that's slowly working its way through your guts until you finally take a shit and you're like, oh God.
Apparently there are some people that are liking this one and saying it's the best out of the 3 films. Get the fuck out of here.
It's an interesting take.
Opinions vary.
You know, I think that we actually might be in the minority in this one.
How?
It's gonna be like Beetlejuice all over again, which fuck that movie.
No. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Like, I will go as far as to say Venom 3 is objectively shit.
Yeah, it sucks.
Jesus Christ!
There comes a time in every man's life where you have to make a sacrifice.
When it ends, you're like, what was the point of all 3 of those fucking movies? It was just boring as hell.
Yeah. When you get to the climax of this film, that felt like we were at like a midpoint scene in the movie with the symbiote Power Rangers assembling.
It's like Power Rangers. They're even like different colors and shit. It's so
you remember
stupid.
in the far superior first film, which in itself is just a mid-tier film?
Yeah, 6 out of 10 at
6
best.
out of 10 at best.
At best.
You remember when they're testing, like, oh, let's see if the symbiote can hook up with this person, and it goes into the person, and the person within like minutes just convulses and dies, and the symbiote comes out?
Yeah, nope.
But that's not a thing anymore.
No.
Because now, like, the symbiote just like latches onto people, and it's like, hey, we're in sync.
There are many rules and plot points that the first one sets up that they just completely
They're all
abandon.
gone. They're all out the window.
This movie is so clearly just Sony making it so they can hold on to the rights to Venom. That's what this entire trilogy is.
Yeah.
They don't even care about, well, you know, we set this up in the first one. Maybe we shouldn't do that because, you know, it just wouldn't fit in with what we set up before.
No, fuck that. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Who cares? And obviously the people that like this piece of shit, like, they don't care either.
Right, because they've completely forgotten the events of the first 2 films because they're entirely forgettable.
Yeah, I can't really blame them because
Right.
those movies are so painfully mediocre.
Yeah. Especially the second one. The second one is
oh my
just,
God, bullshit.
I'd still
Fuck
rather
that
watch
movie.
that one than this third one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
At least the second one felt like a logical progression in the series from where the first one ended.
Yes.
Like characters, location, just not a great story, but it still moved it forward. This one completely separate from everything we got before.
Yeah.
And it felt like that.
I can't stress, like, you can't have a Venom movie without any ties to Spider-Man.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
That's just fucking weak. I'm so sick and tired of these studios making these movies where they don't have like the full rights to everything, so they just make a movie about either a side character or a villain, whatever, and that turns into like their centerpiece.
Right, you know, like the character that is integral to the part of his origin, of how he becomes Venom. Fuck all of that.
Exactly.
Like, we don't need any of that.
Venom's, at the end of the day, is still a villain. He's a bad guy, you know? But no, they do the whole anti-hero route, which I fucking hate.
Right.
Because
now, they do touch on that shit in the comics. They do that shit in the comics, but like...
I'm sure they do, but that doesn't come until like Venom is like established, helped Spider-Man out a couple times, whatever. That's like a process.
Right.
But in this, that's not what the idea behind the movie is. Like, the idea behind it is just to turn it into an anti-hero. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. In the second one, you get Carnage. And again, Carnage is a big part of Spider-Man lore. Carnage dies at the end of that one.
Fuck this guy!
So Spider-Man's never going to square off against Carnage.
Not in
then.
this corner of the universe.
Yeah, fuck that. Like, that sucks. Like, I'm already like not sold on
Well,
it.
it's
I
a different
don't give
universe
shit.
than, you know, the MCU, so...
Speaking of multiverse, how the fuck can you guys like this movie when it totally abandons like where it was going after the second one, setting up that Spider-Man and him are going to finally meet, and they completely abandon that. They push out of it. I guess they couldn't get the rights, or they couldn't settle on an agreement. Whatever.
Well, I think at the end of the Spider-Man scene, he does like vanish and like go back to his world, I think. But they established that like he can go there now.
It's heavily implied that in the next one, he's going to be squaring off against Spider-Man, or at least they're setting that up.
Then I would have been mildly interested.
That is like such a fucking bitch move on Sony and the filmmakers in general. That is completely abandoned in the first scene of this film. Automatically, this movie annoyed me starting off. I'm like, well, fuck you. Like, you guys dangled that carrot, you know, and you guys didn't have like the rights set up yet. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, but let's push ahead with this third movie, even though the second one like underperformed.
It underperformed, and for the most part, people don't like it. Because the second one sucked.
Where are you going with this?
It was like a shitty, by the numbers, hack job.
Getting into like the weak as fuck plot in this movie. He's in Mexico. They do the cop out with the Spider-Man shit. And then he learns that the detective from the second film, Mulligan, who like, I guess dies at the end of the second one, but he has like a line, but he's not dead yet.
Monsters.
It's like, oh, he's dead, and Eddie Brock is wanted for his murder. So now the authorities are after him, but he's like in Mexico. And he's like, well, what are we gonna do? I guess I'll go to New York where the judge who kicked me out of New York, I'll just go blackmail him because I got some dirt on him and he'll get this all cleared up for us. And it's like, okay.
Okay.
So that becomes like his goal to get to New York.
That plot point gets completely abandoned. He's like on foot the whole movie, trying to get to New York from Mexico on foot.
Yeah.
And then he ends up in Nevada, and then that's where the whole thing takes place after that.
Yeah, Nevada, basically, yeah. Also, weird time to introduce, like, you're setting up this big bad villain who's in like 2 scenes in the whole movie, and it's like, okay, listen, this guy's not coming back in any future installments. So they set up some like cosmic being who's like trapped, and he like created the symbiotes, and then the symbiotes rebelled against him, and then like they all scattered it. Like it's so weak, and it's been done. And then he's in this prison, some kind of cosmic prison, and the only way he can get out is if he has this bullshit MacGuffin thing called the Codex.
The Codex.
Never heard that one before.
Oh my god, these fucking terms. Okay, before we go on, I'm so sick and tired of these fucking movies. First of all, they think of these like trendy terms like Codex. They use that in fucking Man of Steel, and it was like very similar to this one. Like the Codex was inside of Kal-El in Man of Steel.
I will not let you use the Codex like this.
And then the algorithm, like in Captain Civil War.
Algorithm. What kind of algorithm? What does it do?
And then like in Tenet, the thing's called the algorithm.
The algorithm.
They just copy.
They just, it's like, oh, algorithm's very popular in the media right now because of social media. Let's have that be the name of the device in the film. Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
God, man.
Chill out, dickwad.
So this Codex, it turns out it's like inside of Eddie and Venom, because when Eddie died in the first movie, he brought him back to life, and it just created this thing inside of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this thing now is the only way that this cosmic character can get out of his prison.
Right.
And it's like, well, how the fuck do you know he has it? And these like other creatures he has can like sense it. When he is actually in his Venom form, that's when this thing can like track him and see him. And it's like, well, then don't go into your Venom form.
Don't do that.
But he keeps doing it throughout the movie.
And there are parts where he like doesn't do it, but then, we need it to find them so there can be some tension, so he just does it for whatever reason. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. So he's on foot. He like straps himself to the side of a plane. He's trying to get to New York, and then this creature attacks him. And then he's just trying to get away from this creature. And then you've got this like other angle where the military are coming after him because they're working with researchers who are like studying the symbiotes. And then they set this whole thing up with like Area 51 and like
Area 51 is being decommissioned, and underneath Area 51 there's Area 55, and they just so happen to have like, well, I don't know.
They've got like a bunch of symbiotes down there.
Yeah, they have symbiote samples
down there. Wait a minute. I thought in the first film that was like the first contact with the symbiotes.
You thought wrong.
So once this like stupid creature shows up and Venom sees it, he like of course drops some exposition like, oh yeah, so these things like hunt symbiotes, and the symbiotes, we're here actually because we're on the run. And it's like, whoa. I thought you guys had nefarious plans for Earth in the first film. Completely just changed that, because Eddie in the first film, once he syncs with Venom like changes his mind about wanting to stay on the planet and decides like, yeah, this place is actually pretty great. Let's go up against the bad guy. No, that's done. We're not doing that anymore. Now it's the symbiotes are all just good and they were on the run the whole time. So now we get this like super half-assed road trip movie where he's just making his way through Nevada. He meets up with this hippie family. Waste of characters, waste of time.
They set them up, and then of course they come back and they're in peril in the third act, and so he's got to save them. It's so fucking shitty. And the way that they reconnect them, it just sucked. It was so stupid.
Yeah, they're on a road trip like looking for aliens. They're gonna go to Area 51. Dude just like sneaks into Area 51 with his children. Yeah, like come on kids, we won't get shot. Let's go.
The fence is kind of broken so he could just come in, but hell, the base is being decommissioned though, so no one cares.
Yeah, not a problem. He gets captured by the military. He gets taken to the Area 55 place, and that's when you see like Mulligan still alive and has a symbiote.
Yeah, he's the Green Ranger.
He's the Green Ranger. He's pointless. He like breaks out and tries to stop the creature. He's like, get out of here, Eddie, and then like just gets eaten and torn to pieces in like 2 seconds. And then all the other scientists and like they start getting the symbiotes on them, and then you get the Blue Ranger pops up, get the yellow, like all the different colors of the rainbow
Eventually, the
start
Pink
popping
Ranger
out.
comes up. Yeah,
They all start popping out.
Yeah.
And now there was another character, this scientist, this woman. She has this weird backstory that they set up.
Which again goes nowhere.
It's so stupid. And like the way they set it up, maybe it was just like the shitty CGI dream nature of it. It seemed like something more like deep was happening.
Yeah, it seemed like she got powers or something.
Yeah, like they set it up where she's just like hanging out with her brother on the beach.
Yeah.
And this storm rolls in and they're like, we gotta get out of here, and they're running.
They were holding hands, and then lightning strikes the brother, killing him, and some of it passes through him, and like
it scars her arm and makes her arm kind of like lame.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, well, you think again, like you're
And
saying,
like,
you think something's gonna come out of that.
Right. And then eventually, when she gets a symbiote on her, she just has like lightning powers, and she can move like she's like the Flash and Electro like in one. Huh?
This movie fucking sucks.
It's like they do all this shit, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. Shit just happens. Even before he gets to Area 55, he goes through Vegas first, and he's got that scene where he's in the casino when he's like, there's the Venom and Eddie banter in this film that continues over from the other films.
You broke my foot.
I need more money.
Though I thought it was better in the other films. This, I thought it was a little sillier.
Right. No, absolutely.
So
but if you were to say something positive about the movie, that maybe.
I guess. He's in Vegas and he tries to go into the hotel and he's dressed like you said when we were watching the movie. He's kind of like a mix of like John McClane with no shoes on.
Yeah, the whole movie he's got no shoes and he's got a hangover.
Yeah.
So it's like they took John McClane's like
From
Achilles
1 and
heel
3.
from 1 and 3 and like just combined.
Right, and that's Eddie Brock in this.
Yeah.
And he's like brain damaged in this movie. Way more than he is in the other two.
That's just Tom Hardy. You know, Tom Hardy carrying on the trend of like Joaquin Phoenix and Benicio del Toro, where whenever they play a normal character, they play them slightly retarded.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing here.
So he tries to get into this hotel, but he's dressed like a schlub. And then he goes and like knocks out this dude who's wearing like a tuxedo and takes his tux. And it's like, there's no reason why he couldn't just like make a suit out of it. Fine, whatever. He goes into this casino and oh my God, we need to bring another character back from a previous film because now there's nobody.
Oh, because we like Mrs. Chen from the first two films. They got to throw her in this. What a coincidence.
Yeah, she's there.
He's playing the slot machines and oh wow, Mrs. Chen is there. And he just so happens to run into her at the same casino at the same time. And at the moment he sees her, she's winning the slot.
Yeah.
What?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Astronomical odds. And then he starts talking to her. And the way their conversation's going, it almost sounds like they're flirting. Like he's gonna go back up to his room and nail Mrs. Chen. They go up to his room and she's just like, come on, we gotta like dance. And Venom's like, yeah, I wanna dance. And it's like, you realize like, if you turn into Venom, this like creature's gonna see this codex and come to get you and then take the codex and let this like world-destroying cosmic being come out and it's like, who fucking cares? I want to dance. It's like priorities.
Well, and also Venom.
What the fuck?
Venom warned him early on in the film, like we can't like be full Venom mode because this thing will find us.
And then he just does this silly shit so we can like dance. You're destroying the stakes.
Yeah.
It's so annoying when they do shit like that. We have to turn into Venom because you have to. Set it up where you have to. Instead, they just do like a silly dance number.
Exactly.
And then by the time we get to the Area 55 climax, the big battle, it's just so weak. When it gets to the end of that battle, we're like, wait a minute, that was just the climax of the film. That sucked.
Yeah, they film it like out in the desert. It's like
easy free set.
They were just like, you know what, let's not do it in a city or let's not make it complicated or expensive. We'll just film it out in the desert. So, we can build this little set out there and we have like free reign to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And like
no decommission some building. Let's
have like a comfortable shoot. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. So the only way to stop this creature that every time these creatures get killed, they just keep repairing themselves. But the only way to get rid of the codex is for one of them to die. So Venom like gathers these creatures together and goes under this.
They're using some sort of like toxic waste thing to destroy the decommissioned equipment for Area 51.
Gets these creatures under him and like he sacrifices himself and dies, and then the codex it just ceases to exist anymore. So Venom dies, and Eddie's like, oh no, all right, well I guess I'm gonna go to New York. And then it just like cuts to New York and he's like staring at the Statue of Liberty. He's like, we made it, buddy. There it is. Because Venom really wanted to see the Statue of Liberty for some reason. And it just ends and it's like, what's the point of that?
There's no point. There is no point.
Anyway, fuck this movie. Let's just rank it. I went 3.5 out of 10.
I went 3 out of 10. sucked ass.
It was really bad. Now, on the other scale, nothing really in this. A couple of minor things, but nothing that really stood out.
We were just too distracted by just being a shitty movie in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then that was enough.
Yeah.
That was enough to distract us.
So I don't know, in terms of Rainbow, what, 1?
I'd say 1 max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1.
you're not going to encounter much in this. It's just shit.
Fuck this movie. It feels like there's definitely closure to this, and thank God.
Yeah.